angle kit. Needs it. Looking good, man. Dude, look at that fender top right there. So that is off to a fantastic start. I know that only says 724. I only pulled it to like 6,000 RPM, but we're off the chart rich, so that is like, hell yeah. We're gonna make some power. My last log, I was really frustrated about it. So this car does not have paddle shift or anything like that. So when I'm running this thing, I put it in D and I go over to my HP tuners and I command 4th gear. It locks it in 4th gear. Okay, so I did have some areas where it was adding additional fuel. We are still off the chart rich. As you can see on the bottom part of the air fuel, it is off the chart. 742, 630, still off the chart rich. So I gotta take care of the fuel map. I'm trying to see how much fuel pressure we have. All right, so our fuel pressure is dropping to 44 pounds all the way at the top on full E85. We are going to still take out a lot more fuel, so we should be able to get some of that fuel pressure back. Now, for boost, we are making just over, right about 15 pounds of boost, 203, and then it drops down to 194. So we're dropping about 1.5 pounds of boost. We are at 79% duty cycle. We're gonna drop a lot more fuel to get it back on the map. And then from there, we should be able to pick up some power. Now, I'm running this thing pretty hard. I'm not giving it a chance to cool down. When we run it, we are gonna put ice in it, so it is gonna make a bunch more power. So leaned out a little bit up on the top end there, but we finally got the air fuel on the map. I'm gonna see if we can throw some more spark at it. Needs a little bit of that right there. So guys, this thing is hot. 111 degrees in the blower and 199 degrees engine coolant temp. It is 88 degrees, I believe, in the shop right now. So this thing is fighting me tooth and nail. That's 755 or 671 pound-feet of torque. That matches our best torque near about. So we're about 2 pound-feet of torque away from our best. Now, I've probably had to take some timing away from this. I don't recall exactly what I had done, but we have full rubber, which I forgot to mention. We have full rubber, brand new tires on there, and that does eat up some power. Okay, this is a much hotter run than what we had before, but our fuel system looks pretty good. All right, looks kind of like we leaned out a little bit the last couple hundred RPM right there, but we're really, really rich down low. So I'm trying to get that thing straightened out, but we're definitely looking pretty good. Things are looking promising, and I think that we could be able to run more Spark Advance with the more methanol of what we have and the fuel blend of which we're running. Talking. That is more like it. Finally, 767, 680. All right, so this thing doesn't show a giant torque number, kind of like a CTSV does, but it is finally coming around. Now we're gonna throw some more timing at it. We've got the air fuel semi under control. It's moving around here and there. It's a little unusual, but we've kind of had a hard time controlling our intake air temperature. So it's definitely been a bit warm. So look at our duty cycle right there. That time I spun it to about 6,600. Our duty cycle is 6,500. So pretty much day in and day out, I use HP tuners to tune cars left and right. It is definitely the most comprehensive, most user-friendly software for this type of action. All right, so we are running 22 degrees of timing, and this is on a very high concentration of E85, almost a full tank. So 77, you're not usually gonna see much more beyond that. From pump gas E85. I do have about 1.5 gallons of C85 in there. So our air temperature was about 111, 108 when we started the run, and as we go through, really didn't go up that much. I think we went up to about 115, so the net gain is not that much. Granted, it's only a couple seconds of a pull. We're going on the track that's gonna be a lot hotter because after you do your burnout and all that other type of thing. So a little tip, if you're at the drag strip, you got a boosted car kind of like this, it's good to do a burnout, but don't absolutely kill it with the burnout. You want to have 3 seconds of white smoke. That's really, really important. Too much, you're going to kind of preheat the blower. Too little, and you won't get the tires hot enough. So extremely crucial and very, very important in order to do the right length burnout. Most of my customers that I have with CTSVs, I say, hey, keep the hood popped the entire time, keep the car off as much as possible, close it when you're right getting ready to go to your burnout, and go, because by that time it'll already be hot. The car will be up to temp, and we definitely don't want it too hot. These things crave cold, dense air. Tomorrow over at Cleetus and Cars, it's gonna be 90 degrees, so not gonna have any cold, dense air. So we're gonna do everything we can to try and make as much power as we can. Now, we are gonna throw some ice in it, and we'll see what happens with that. Set the world on fire right there. I was really hoping for a bit more after throwing that little bit more spark advance at it. So I was hoping for a bunch more power with that extra timing, and I didn't get it. So let's look at kind of what happened. At first, it kind of looks like it leaned up a little bit on the top end, and we certainly cannot have that happening going down the track. So this right here is small and subtle, but we're watching, this is kind of the opposite of what the air fuel ratio looks like. So this area is lean, and then when it goes up like that, that's rich. But right here it started to trail off. So right here in this area, that middle of that plateau is plenty rich, but this part right here does start to lean out. Let's throw some more fuel at it right there, and we might, as odd as this is, we're still kind of spinning, so we might have a little bit of a reading that's not totally correct. So there's 137 miles an hour, and within about a couple tenths of a second, we're down at 130. So the truth will be told at the track, and seeing what this thing traps, we might have an issue right there. So we got it strapped down really, really tight. We've ratcheted it as tight as we can go, and we have sticky stuff on the tire, so we have some spray adhesive on there trying to keep this thing cinched, but it starts to rub the tires, so we had to kind of jack it back up a little bit. So we're taking some of the weight off of the tires. It's a delicate balance. We are gonna make this the last pull. We've got a bunch of other stuff to get ready for tomorrow. We're throwing the ice in, and we're gonna see what it does. I'm adding that little bit of fuel up on the top. I think I've accomplished everything I wanted to see with it. We're gonna run it hard tomorrow. Let's throw some ice in it, cool it down, and see if we can make some more power. Like it loves to rev. So there we have it. I'm like I said, I've said this many times before, I'm always looking for a little bit more power. 778 wheel, 681 pound-feet of torque. That is the best that's ever made. Was I hoping for more? Absolutely. 800 is the goal. We got our Nick Williams throttle body coming on very, very shortly. Should be able to yield a little bit more power. We've seen about 15 horsepower on our Escalade. This is going to be fantastic for Cleetus and Cars. I'm hoping we can finally get our 9-second pass. We've had 4 passes in 10-1 at 140. This thing, it's overdue. Come on, Sam. We gonna do a burnout tomorrow?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna do a burnout. We're gonna try and run our 9, so we're gonna make this happen. That's good pizza. One bite, everybody knows the rules. It's got good crust, it's got a lot of flavor. Frankie, I'm gonna give that a 6.7. What do you say, Liam?
I go a 10.
A 10? Sam is done. Let's go freaking tear some stuff up. So guys, I gotta go do a training relearn. We're gonna get this thing totally ready, set to go. So we're at Cleetus and Cars trying to make a last moment pass before they close the track down. Story of my life. Day late, dollar short, last minute. As they're closing the gates, All right, so we're gonna go 17 pounds, see how this puppy does. It's been sitting the whole time. What is it? What's 406? Okay, so definitely not an ideal scenario. I went to go make a pass and it was leaking some coolant in the back, or leaking some of the coolant for the blower in the back. They kind of got hot, had to do another burnout. Gonna do it again. All right, I gotta check my shift points. All my shift points seem to be pretty low, so I gotta see what's going on with that. Let's look back real quick on HB Tuners, see what we see. Let's see if that thing shifted okay. Shoot, I just hit the wrong button. Oh my God, I just lost my log. All right, so I'm kind of pissed at myself because I just lost my data log, which had all my shift points, that had all sorts of information on it that I really, really needed as my first pass on the new setup. I'm so upset with myself, so I'm gonna have to just go with my gut, change what I need to change, and let's just hope for a better result. I probably only have one more pass. I probably got maybe 20 minutes. We might even have as much as 45 minutes if they hold out till 8:30. So we're gonna try and make our best pass ever. I'm Uncle Sam. It's time to make it happen, even though the weather's not cooperating. So let's make it happen.
Lucky number 9, because we're about to make a 9-second pass. Come on. Yeah, buddy.
Taking this one to the drunk tank.
Get me out of here!
Shut up! All right, guys, that is a fantastic take back from a green setup. Now, is that the number that I want to run? Absolutely not, but I will take it because it's something that we can build upon. And the further you look into the data log, the more I want to share with you. So let's take a look at that. I think that there's a lot of meat on the bone. There's a number of things that I kind of rethought, and I was like, you know what? The 60 foots are down. A lot of this stuff doesn't quite make sense, so let's check this out. For one, I put a larger cam in the car, and we're actually 60 footing a little bit worse. I do have a really tall tire in there, so I just picked up a ZL1 differential, which is a 373, and we're going to put that in. We're also going to try a smaller tire. The rollout for the 60 foot should be a lot better. So guys, the devil is in the details. There's a lot of interesting information here if you look at the subtleties, and I'll try and explain it to you the best I can. Okay, so our 1-2 shift, it kind of looks like we spun all the way through here. There's some weirdness going on here. So if we look right here, there's 14 miles an hour, and as we go up, it goes 15, back down to 15, 14, and then back up to 17. So there's something funny going on there. I believe we spun a little bit off the line there. Another thing was the throttle shut on the 1-2, and the boost spiked up right there. That's a lot. That is a lot of boost. That's somewhere about 21 pounds of boost. So something was freaked out there. And again, we spun on the 1-2 shift. This little area right here, that little horn that went up and went down, is where it freaked out on that 10-4 pass. That being said, that little area right there cost me about 0.6 of a second. So I think that they're is definitely something that could be going on there. Normally I can get a transmission shift wherever I want, but this one's being the humbler. This thing is absolutely kicking my butt, making me look like a complete fool sometimes, but we're gonna get through that, I promise. So look at this. This is a wicked fast shift right there, and it's spun on the 2-3 shift. I'm gonna probably back down some line pressure there, and we've got a little bit to look forward to. So once again, it's at 74 miles an hour, and then it went back down to about 73 and then, or sorry, 70 and then caught up. Right here, it actually shifted and spun the tires at over 100 miles an hour on the 3-4 shift. I did get my shift points where I want, but we're gonna build upon this. We're gonna try and go back to the track here later on this week and really get that time. We have to get our 60 foots down in order to make this happen. We're gonna take some measures to get a better 60 foot. We got a ZL1 diff coming in, and we got a shorter tire. Hopefully that'll roll out the 60 foot a lot faster. We've gotta get better than a 159, which is the best that I pull there. Freaking pathetic. We're not going to run 9s with a 159 60 foot. We've got to try and get in the 1.4s, and I think this is going to do it. So guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless you. See you soon. Forgot to say, if you ever get a chance to go to Cleetus and Cars, come. We had so many people come from 4 or 5 states away. It was amazing. Amazing turnout. Biggest turnout that Bradenton Motorsports Park ever had. So hope to see you guys at next one coming up.
Yeah! Yeah, world! We're gonna celebrate! Oh yeah!
Bro, he didn't even know who you were when you were screaming. He's like looking over. I know he did.
Everyone's screaming over the last circuit, mile and a half to the way back here with this trophy.
Dang gone, son. Got that bald eagle trophy. Believe that's my boy right there. That's my son.
Hey girl, what's your numbers?
799, everybody.
Nope. Dory, back up. Back up. Dory.